Welcome back, everyone. This is my favorite Alice in Chains song called Nutshell, and it's 3 chords and it's really good for strumming. So let's check it out. I've kept my guitar in standard tuning. Now they tune down a half step traditionally, so that's something to note, that if you try and play along, it's going to sound really bad. But feel free to tune down if you want, but I decided to keep it simple for everybody and just keep it in standard tuning. So anyway, 3 chords. Your first one is an E minor 7. Very, very cool sounding, I think. You could sort of maybe remember this chord by your open E minor, and you're taking and sort of adding a G on the top. If you guys know traditional stock G with the pinky and the 3rd finger on the 3rd frets of the top 2 strings, is that you're going to add that little piece on your E minor 7. So you should have in this chord, you should have open 6th, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, open 3rd, 2nd fret, 2nd fret. So just 2 little symmetrical pieces. That's your E minor 7. That's your first chord. Your next chord is a good old D major. And really that's just you have kind of a nice little platform as you do your shift. I'll talk more about this in a sec. So you have a D major, and then you're going to jump to your C add 9, which is like a C chord that you might know this way, but you're going to refinger it with your middle and your first on the low 2 notes. And 3rd finger goes to the 3rd fret of your B string. Open top string, no low string, so you're going to have to actually mute that by the way your middle finger frets the bass on the A string. So you should be getting that. By the way, the document that you can get at Walker Guitar will help you to follow along a lot, so you want to go and get that. This also goes good with the other lessons I did, Rooster and No Excuses, both Alice in Chains acoustic ones as well. So we're doing kind of an acoustic guitar run here. So anyway, that's your C add 9. Those are your 3 chords. Now, personally, I feel that the hardest thing about this song is getting the rhythm and the feel, because it kind of moves in sort of a weird way. And as you listen to it, it's a little strange, at least to me personally, of when he's moving to the D, and the D is sort of a pivot chord in between the E minor and the C add 9. In other words, that you're spending most of your time on E minor 7 and on C, but you're kind of bouncing to them via the D chord. So the rhythm is going to take the longest to learn. The biggest tip here is to think that when you move to the D chord, hey kitty, is that everybody wants to be a star here. So as you move to that D chord, if your hand is loose and you're applying your rhythm fundamentals, which is always keeping it loose, and you're feeling it, you're on an imaginary grid, so to speak, you always hit that D chord on an up strum. So if you can remember that, you'll be okay. Now the E minor 7 and the C are always on down strums. So that said, let me just play through it a few times, and you'll start to see how it lines up. So I know that's rough, but you see that as I'm moving through, you're always catching that D on an up strum. And then you're kind of hanging here, and there's a little embellishment trick where you're going to hammer on a finger. I'll get to that. But as you do this part, the D again is also on an upswing, so keep that in mind. You don't want to try and go through and imitate what you hear with your ear with all downstrokes, because it's going to feel kind of awkward. It's never going to fit. So let's go to the C part with the little hammer-on trick now. So what you're going to do is C add 9. You're going to actually start this with your first finger off the chord. So really, that's kind of cool in itself. but you're getting a C chord without the first finger, open D string. And then you're going to hammer on with your first finger into the rest of the C. So you're going to just have to get used to that. It's an interesting technique, but once you get it, it makes your playing just so much more three-dimensional. It's awesome. So otherwise, the riff is really simple now. I've put the ups and the downs as far as pick direction as you strum, which it helps some people. You can go through and you can just try and do it really slowly and analyze. And if you're one of those people, I'm kind of one of those people where just doing every little up and every little down helps, then that's great, go for it. If not, and what I tend to recommend is to learn by imitating. Just remember those key points about how you always want to keep your wrist loose and you want to change to your D on upswings. They should line up as upswings, and the E and the C should line up as downswings. If you can remember those points, I think just listening a lot and imitating is really going to help you the most. So I'm going to do a couple passes here just so you can listen to it. And obviously I'm having some technical difficulties here with house pets. So anyway, I'm gonna strum through this just a couple times so you guys can just kind of listen and watch, and just keep in mind that the ear is the ultimate teacher here. Okay, so as long as you're feeling loose with the wrist and you're moving at the right times, you're gonna do just fine. So here we go.